The next question is, why are wineries located near Nasik in Maharashtra? This is an interesting question because this is in our state and Nashik is not far from where we live. Nashik has got a favorable climate for grape plantation, and it's got almost 29 wineries which are functioning, and because of that, Nashik is sometimes called as the wine capital of India. The farmers here, they grow different grape varieties in the valleys of Nashik. The grapes used for making wines are normally planted on the hill slopes with good drainage conditions. This makes Nashik a very favorable location to start wineries, and that is why it has become the wine capital of India. Now the next question is, chapatis made from wheat only swell up, whereas bread made out of wheat become spongy, soft, and it's easy to digest. So why is the difference between two? The answer again lies in the explanation of fermentation. The chapatis, when they are heated, when the dough of chapati is heated, the gas inside just expands and they swell up. But in case of bread, there is a fermentation process going on which converts the sugars into alcohol and carbon dioxide gas. So there are carbon dioxide gas bubbles produced due to fermentation. The alcohol evaporates and carbon dioxide gives it a spongy and soft appearance. Now let us see the meaning of the term bioremediation. Bioremediation is a process used in industry to treat contaminated media such as water, soil, and subsurface material, and it uses the process of altering environmental conditions to stimulate the growth of microorganisms which degrade the target pollutants. Now this is a very interesting application of the knowledge of biology in industry. We'll see the examples. A yeast called as Yarovia lipolytica is used to absorb the toxins released during the production of palm oil. Another example is Saccharomyces cerevisiae is used for absorption of a pollutant in arsenic industry. Oil spills which occur during extraction of oil, crude oil like petrol and diesel, which takes place mainly in the oceans. These oil spills are cleaned using alkanovorax bacteria. Here is a diagram. It shows how the environmental pollutants are cleaned using addition of microorganisms and supplying with nutrients and oxygen along with them. You can see injection wells where these microorganisms enter in and they are released at the site of pollution, and they clear the pollution and the pure crude oil can be extracted from the area. So this is how industry uses the biological knowledge in keeping the environment clean. Now, very important topic for the science and for medicine, and for common public it's important for day-to-day living, and it is antibiotics. Now, what are antibiotics? Antibiotics are the carbon compounds obtained from some bacteria and fungi which are used to destroy or prevent the growth of harmful microorganisms such as bacteria and protozoa. Now, when were antibiotics discovered? They were invented in 20th century, and they are used in the treatment of infections, and human being has been able to treat many life-threatening and killing diseases such as tuberculosis, which is written as TB, typhoid, and various other deadly diseases. Antibiotics are naturally produced. They are produced by fungi and bacteria, or they can be produced in laboratory. We'll see few examples. So the antibiotic produced by fungus Penicillium is called penicillin, which is the most commonly used antibiotic in medicine. The antibiotics produced by bacterium Streptomyces erythraeus is erythromycin, and there are some antibiotics which are produced by scientists. They can be semi-synthetic, which are produced by modification of naturally occurring substances, or they can be produced completely synthetic. So the antibiotics are produced in laboratory from man-made chemicals, nothing to do with naturally occurring substances. So that's how antibiotics are produced, and they are very important in control and treatment of the deadly infections. Now let us see a few details of the most important antibiotic of the time, which was also the first antibiotic discovered in 1928 by Professor Alexander Fleming from Scotland. Penicillin is a group of many antibiotics, and it is obtained from a fungus called Penicillium. And what it is used for? It is used to control the infections caused by bacteria like Streptococci, Clostridia, Staphylococci, etc. Penicillin is used to treat bacterial infections of skin, ear, nose, throat, pneumonia, scarlet fever, sepsis, and many other infections. Now let's see a little more details about Professor Alexander Fleming. He was basically a microbiologist and pharmacologist by profession. He was working at St. Mary's Hospital in Scotland. He had cultured varieties of bacteria and fungi in petri dishes in his laboratory. The petri dish are small dish used by microbiologists to grow fungi and bacteria in the form of little colonies. So In that petri dish where the fungal colonies had grown, Professor Fleming observed that area around the fungal colonies was clean and there was no growth of bacteria around the fungal colony, which means the bacteria around the fungal colony were destroyed. So Professor Fleming continued his research and confirmed that fungus, which was Penicillium, had produced some chemicals which destroyed the bacteria. And that's how the first antibiotic, which was labeled as penicillin because it was produced from Penicillium fungus, it was discovered accidentally, and it has been used in the treatment of many diseases, and it has saved millions of lives since its discovery. Now, this was really a landmark work done by Professor Fleming, and he was awarded Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine in 1945. So that's about penicillin and its inventor, Professor Alexander Fleming. Now let's see some practical cautious or warnings you all must know about use of antibiotics for yourself or any of your family members. Antibiotics being chemical substances of great value, they should be used cautiously only on doctor's advice. So do not purchase any antibiotic directly from pharmacy, that is medical store, without doctor's prescription. Do not consume antibiotics on your own without doctor's advice to treat conditions like runny nose, common cold, flu, or sore throat. Even if you feel well, before completion of the course of antibiotic, you should complete the course as per medical advice, and do not suggest others to take the antibiotics which was useful for you or your family members unless you become a licensed doctor. So antibiotics are very important. If we use them wrongly, there are lots of disadvantages. It's a waste of money if we use it wrongly. It's a waste of important valuable medications, and it can harm the patients by causing serious side effects, and it has a problem risk of antibiotic resistance. Now, antibiotic resistance is something very relevant and important problem in medical field in India, but at your level you do not need to know the details of antibiotic resistance. Have you ever seen the ant hill? Here is one in the left photo on this slide. You will be surprised to know that ants which create these ant hills, they do farming activity, and what do they grow? They grow fungi in their ant hills. Why do they do so? Because they can feed on these crops of fungi in their anthills. Interesting, isn't it? Now, some species of wasps and other insects, they lay their eggs in the fungal body. So, when these eggs are converted into larvae, these larvae can obtain food from these fungal bodies. Interesting fact, isn't it? Until now, we were learning about the useful microorganisms, and we have seen few of them. From now onwards, we will see few examples of harmful microorganisms. Now, there are few questions given in your book, and we will try to go through these questions. Before moving on to questions, have a look at these photos. These are the fungal infested food products. The one on the left is fungal infested potato, and one on the right is a bottle of pickle which has got all the fungal fibers grown on its surface. Not healthy to eat. Now let's move on to the questions from the book. The first question is, which changes do you notice in leather articles and gunny bags during rainy season? Here is the explanation to this question. Now, microscopic fungal spores are present in the air, and if these spores get sufficient moisture, they germinate on cotton fabric, gunny bags, leather, or wooden items. The fungal hyphae are the fibers of the fungus. They penetrate deep into the material to obtain nutrition for themselves, and that's how they are able to reproduce after landing onto these articles such as leather, wood, gunny bags, and fabrics. This growth of fungal hyphae causes the material to wear and become weak. They can also affect wooden items, and the wooden items can get spoiled because of the growth of the fungus. The next question is, how long afterwards can you use those articles? Now, growth of the fungus on the surface of these materials in practice makes these articles weak. So, gunny bags, the leather shoes, purses, jackets, belts, they can become weak if left with the fungal growth on them for a long period. If we manage to clean the fungus quickly, we may be able to save these items from further damage. But frequent and long-term fungal growth will certainly reduce the life of these items.